Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's coverage of Hardcore Online Gaming's 2024 TA2 V8 Rumble Series. Another shakedown tonight before season starts next week. It's obviously proudly brought to you again by MATCHFIT Entertainment with Nautech also on board, Gamma Flare, and a little bit of support maybe from the TA2 boys in Australia and New Zealand as well in real life. So yeah, I think they got we're on their radar at the moment. I'm Davo. Don't have J-Man with me tonight, and my standing co-commentator and good friend Rusty Shackford, I think, might be arguing with an Uber driver as we speak. Might have been one of those, the old Tesla might have ran out of batteries, I think. So, run a little bit late tonight, but we are here and the boys are G'd up. I think we've got 11 in the server at the moment, and the boys are running out now for qualify. Let's see if we can get a little bit of vision on what's going on here. Now we saw Tinnis Venter in the 707 car hit the top of the leaderboard in pre-race practice here, so I'd expect to see that car on the front row. Kenny Simpson also really quick in pre-race practice, so I'd expect to see that car, as well as Stu Arrowsmith Botta as well. Not doing a bad job in the 721 car. We also have Super, we have Paul Field, Pete Johnson, also out on track. Full skin pack tonight, guys, so labelled cars, you'll see the driver names on the windscreen. Some new paint jobs. Jeff Varner in the M&M car, number 32, looking sharp, showed some good form last week at Queensland Raceway. Definitely coming up to speed in these cars, also in a Mustang. Nev Shields in a Mustang as well. Vaughan Martin and Les Wilson in one of the Chevys, the Nengun Performance Chevy. So some lovely liveries out here tonight. A little bit of a pre-release on the skin pack. Get amongst that, the links will be in the description of the stream later tonight. And get that loaded up in readiness for next week's first round of the series. As we would expect, Tinnis Venter immediately topping the boards with a 101.6. No surprise there.
Hello, Davo.
Oh, who is this?
Hello.
This Rusty Shackelford.
Knock, knock.
They've allowed you through security.
Finally through security. There was a pat down out the front gate, Dave.
Well,
There's a big lineup out there.
Okay, well, you always enjoy a pat down, don't you, Rusty? So
I do.
That's
yeah.
probably why it
got
took
me.
so long.
I went back for seconds, so I joined the line again. No, it's good to be here. I am late, and my system is still currently downloading all the updated skin packs, but I thought I'd just jump in anyway, and while we're waiting, have a cup of tea. You seem to be handling the broadcast things, side of things quite well, so I'll just jump in and enjoy the show.
Yeah, awesome. Nice to have you on board, Rusty, as usual. A little bit of a new one for you. We're obviously broadcasting the RF2 stuff, so a couple of new things going on for not only MATCHFIT, but also Hardcore Online Gaming here with the full broadcast on the TA2 series this year.
Yeah, I mostly come from sort of GT type stuff, so this is very different. I have done a shakedown in one of these things, and I can tell you, if you're okay with the fact that it doesn't turn and doesn't stop, then you can probably be very quick in it. It's definitely different to what you may have been driving in other sims.
Absolutely.
But once you do get your head around it, they are beasts, and it's
They
fun
are
trying to tame them. So
Yep.
you do have a lot of fun.
You definitely got to muscle these things to get the best out of them, don't you, Rusty? And some of these boys really on point with them. So, yeah, difficult to keep up with. Pete Dawson doing a stellar job in one of very few Dodges. I think it's only Paul Field and Pete Dawson in the Dodge brand here. And Dawson, although new, I think, to the platform, just definitely getting up to speed with the TA2s here, Rusty. So good to see. Also, Neville Shields, couple of familiar names.
Faces.
Yes, yeah.
Good to see Kenny Simpson. We spoke about this the other night, Dave, while we were watching Kenny go around. In this series, he's bloody quick in these things. So keep an eye out for Kenny.
Super quick, and what a fantastic looking skin he's got on that car, actually. Very aggressive with the charcoal, with orange stripes, blue headlights, the blue oval eyes of Kenny Simpson, a big Ford fan. And man, does he have that thing hooked up. Man, has that got some lateral grip.
It's taken every inch of track, dropping wheels onto the grass. You love to see it.
Amazing. Still got... Oh, Tinnis has really got his measure, though. It's probably about a quarter of a second, I think. 0.2 and a bit tenths.
And it's a tight track, Pukekohe, time-wise, isn't it? You don't tend to have too big a distances between one position to the next here. It all tends to be pretty nose to tail most of the time. So,
yeah, pretty well only one slow corner, and so they're really reasonably good average speed, which obviously keeps the times close. Simpson now just running across the line there. Betters his time, but...
really fanging it out in the back corner.
Bettering his time and not his position. So nice work from Stu Arrowsmith back in the pits. He's off. Pete Dawson still out on track in the Dodge and up to speed. He's currently sitting provisional 4th position on a 102.1. We've just got a late comer. I think they've just rolled one of... I think that's Coyle's car off the trailer. So he might miss the end of qualifying here, but will definitely be on grid for race 1 tonight here. Rusty, some quick fire races to kick things off tonight. As usual here in the TA2 series, a couple of 15-minute races. Nothing special, no compulsory pit stops and no malarkey like that. Just get knuckled down.
Love to see it, mate. You're preaching to the choir with that.
Yeah.
As you well know, I'm a big advocate for short super sprint rounds. So that's music to my ears, mate.
Short and sharp.
Short, sharp, and hectic. That's the way we like it.
Absolutely. And look, Pukekohe will definitely.
Oh, it's going to deliver.
It will deliver on the hectic side of things. And we'll finish up tonight with a 25-minute main, which will seem really like a walk in the park.
Like an eternity.
Well, I don't know. They'll be so G'd up.
Is there
after
a compulsory stop in the 25?
No compulsory stops in these cars, Rusty. So yeah, very simple format. Just head down, ass up, and run to the flag.
Now, look, obviously I'm new to this league and this series. I do see a few familiar names on the totem pole, but
absolutely,
just enlighten me a little bit. Who are the guys that you watch out for that you would expect to improve during the race? The kind of good, consistent lap-to-lappers who get results?
I would expect to see Pete Dawson, and look, so much can happen in a race, Rusty. You've driven these cars, you know how hard they are to pedal. So there is mishaps. There is a little bit of an off-track excursion every now and then. And but I'd be watching Pete Dawson, Vodabotta, Paul Field. I've got a funny feeling he's sandbagging there with his 027. To be honest,
usually in the top 3 lap times.
Quick racer. As we just see Vota getting a bit of a wheel out on the grass there and backing it into the fence.
Dear.
Only 30 seconds to go in qualifying here. Also, Coyle late off the trailer, so no qualifying. So he's going to start from the back of the pack, Rusty. But look, the team turned up a little bit late last week at Queensland, and that car immediately just dropped into the mid-pack easily. So Coyle as well. But yeah, definitely the likes of Dawson and Paul Field ones to watch.
Plenty of work to do here at Pukekohe if you're starting from the back in other series, other cars that I've driven here. It's always quite difficult to overtake. And, it's very easy to over push at those two chicanes. You got the one in Sector 3, in Sector 1, and then at the end of Sector 2, at the end of that back straight. So always very satisfying, though, when you get through those complexes unscathed. It's a great little track.
It's tricky.
Hard to overtake. Yeah, it's hard to perfect it, but gee, when you get one right, you feel...
It is tricky. It is tricky. We'll just go through the finishing positions there just quickly. Aventa, Simpson, Kenny Simpson, Stu Arrowsmith, Dawson, Vota Botta, Neville Shields, Super, Paul Field, Jeff Barner, Les Wilson, Vaughan Martin, and Coyle there. As the boys get on grid here for race 1, just let me adjust a couple of things here. And these guys will roll out behind the safety car in one moment and do a formation lap in behind the safety car here at Pukekohe for the final shakedown. Before series starts, 6-round series, ladies and gentlemen. One definitely to get involved with. Like you can see tonight, we got full custom skin packs, plenty of cool tracks to come, Aussie and Australian stuff. So hoping to get a few maybe sneaky cameos from some of the real life TA2 boys. So yeah, definitely worth getting involved with, as I think we're just waiting for the safety car to be refueled or something. There's something going on there as we just oh god. Yep, too much of that. Yeah, well, we do put on the beers, so I think that's wherein lies the problem, I think. That's okay, as the boys just get, we got an 8-minute warm-up actually, so yeah, so. Fantastic. Look, we can make noise all night, Rusty. Not at all. But yeah, plenty to look out for here coming up in the series as we do our last shakedown before series starts on the 8th of June. A few boys just rolling out for a little bit of pre-race practice, obviously warm up for another 8 minutes or so here, but yeah, a couple of standard format stuff, couple of 15-minute races and a 25 main. We have 6-round series, first of quite possibly 2 6-round series here for Hardcore Online Gaming's 2024 TA2 V8 Rumble Series. June 8 will start us off at Manfield Circuit. June 15th will be at Morgan Park Raceway out west of Brisbane in sunny, dry Queensland. Highlands Motorsport Park will be round 3, and then back to southeast Queensland again for a run at Queensland Raceway. We had a shakedown at Queensland Raceway last weekend, and there was some cracking racing. Mate, the boys did really delivered. So yeah, awesome stuff. After Queensland, in July, we drop into July 6th, Hampton Downs, and finishing off July 13th back in Australia at Sydney Motorsport Park under lights, Rusty. Now, you've driven Eastern Creek under lights before.
Indeed.
In OF2, and it is a cracking circuit. These things don't actually have any headlights, mind you, but the track is very well lit, and they do actually race there in real life. So, with the flames, glowing brake discs, that is going to be a spectacle, one not to miss. So, yeah, definitely get involved, guys. The boys out in warm-up now. Max Cat also out on track. Coil. You guys opting out of the practice run. They think they've got it dialed in.
Yeah, about 3/10 between Tinnis Fenner and Pete Dawson. Finding it out for P1 and P2 at the moment, Dovo, if I'm not mistaken, here in this little warm-up session.
Yeah, so nice work. I think Dawson still just coming up to speed a little bit with the mod, but very quickly we've seen him over the last couple of weeks improve immensely. So, and look, there's a lot of sharing of setups between the teams here. These guys are all very amicable and
all helping each other out.
Oh, definitely all happy to help each other out.
Until you get on track, of course.
These guys want to race, and that's what it's all about, you know? Like, yeah, so, yeah, I think Dawson, yeah, coming up to speed quickly. And, yeah, one of only a couple of Dodgers in the field. It's a bit of a Mustang fest, a bit of a pony fest at the moment. A couple of
Camaros out there as well.
A couple of Camaros in there, yep.
I do find it interesting in this little warm-up session that only 4 or 5 cars decided to go out. And looking at the times that were being run in the warm-up session, I think we may have a little bit of discrepancy between the qualifying pace that we saw and what people are actually capable of doing. So
yeah.
I don't think everyone put in their best qualifying performance going off this. So yeah, that bodes well for a close race, right?
Well, that's absolutely. I think I mentioned maybe Fieldsy's name came up there with. I thought he was sandbagging a little bit, so I know that Dodge is quick. So yeah, definitely one to watch. Poor Field. Well down the field.
In these cars, the couple of races that I've done in these cars, one of the things you notice is just how close you can follow the car in front, which you can't necessarily do in other cars and in other sims. So that's really enjoyable. The fact that you can really get up behind someone's rear wing and tap them along a little bit, and it's not going to send people getting it's not going to get people deleted into the fence instantly like it can in some other series.
No, true.
So it's like that means that that bodes well for close racing.
All
these guys know each other; they respect each other on track. So, yeah, I think it would be very clean but very close for a lot of these guys.
Absolutely, Rusty. I tend to agree. They are a fairly stable car, which does encourage that side-by-side stuff, doesn't it? You're not so worried about. You're talking about just a bit of bump drafting here and there, but you can go mirror to mirror with these things and trade a little bit of paint, and they deal with it very well.
They're tanks, aren't they? They're big and heavy, and they're immovable objects.
Yeah. These guys, though, we've got cameras on Simpson again. He has got this thing literally on a razor's edge, super quick, and still not able to reel Venter's time in. Car looks fantastic.
It really does. The attitude of the car on track day, but you can tell he's got a lot of confidence in what's underneath
yeah.
him. The setup feels really good because he is pushing it to the absolute 10th every single corner, trying to squeeze the most out of it, dropping a wheel here and there, and it looks pretty stable.
It does.
Can do that sort of pace during a race, you'll always be a threat. If it's a good race car.
And consistent too. Kenny practices a lot. He's got the time to be in the car throughout the week and really test these cars and practice. So
as he goes to P3 in this little practice session.
Very, very consistent. So just that first complex of corners, that car is so hooked.
Yeah, the front end looks really stable. It's not pushing through the corners. It looks really pointy. Gets out of the corners really well too. It doesn't look like he's suffering too much from, you know, power oversteer or anything like that.
No.
It loves the curbs. It eats the curbs up. So
yeah,
it's sprung well. Yeah, he's
nice
doing really
work.
well.
1 minute to go before we kick the first race off here, viewers. We must thank again Hardcore Online Gaming for, you know, delivering the 2024 TA2 V8 Rumbles series, brought to you by MATCHFIT Entertainment and Nautech. Jump on board, get involved, guys. Series starts next weekend, June the 8th. Boys winding down, 20 seconds to go. And then they will be lining up behind the V8 Rumble safety car for a quick formation lap. Some good times there. Tennis Venter not quite nailing his qualifying time, but not bloody far off at about 4/10 off it there with a 1:02.0.
Well, this might be his race run. You know, 15 minutes worth of fuel.
Too true. Oh, you know it.
Interesting that guys will abuse their tyres somewhat in a 15-minute race. In these pigs, it's entirely possible to do because there's no traction control or anything like that. No. Nothing fancy like that. So when you're on the gas, the tyres, they know about it. They scream in anger. So
or in pain. I'm not sure which.
In pain. Anger first, then pain. As the race goes on, can, when they get loose in the arse, over these things, they're a handful.
Oh, are they? But look, they are fairly forgiving, and you've got to get them right, you know, to that lateral grip edge before they start getting like that. So, you know, there's plenty of forgiveness before then, and then it'll bite you. So,
yeah, as you mentioned before, you really got to, you know, bring these things next. To extract the best time out of it.
Yeah, definitely got to muscle this stuff. Few of these boys. 3 or
4/10 off the P2, Dave.
Yeah, well, there you go. Out behind the safety car now. This is a full collision situation here. A few of these boys from ACC will be mindful of that. I suspect Rusty.
No ghosting.
No ghosting at all. So, few guys, I'm sure, getting their head around that. We go on board, just watching out of Paul Field's car there as the guys get sized up into formation before they run down to this little hairpin. Safety car set to 80 kilometres an hour, so it'll feel like they're walking pace for these guys at the moment as the safety car peels off.
Yeah, when that dives in, Tennis, do you reckon he's going to go early? or hold it. It's like he's holding them back.
I think that they call it. They'll call it over. They'll call a full green.
Okay, yep.
Over there, which we should hear in the commentary box here as well. Kenny Simpson, Stu Arrowsmith tucked in behind, Pete Dawson tucked in behind Kenny Simpson, Arrowsmith tucked in behind Tinnis. They're going to go green any second here. Pukekohe, this is the final shakedown for the 6-round series, starting the 8th next weekend, guys, and it's on immediately. Tinnis getting pressured by Arrowsmith and Simpson now in the mix. Look,
Simpson's
it's
done incredibly well to hold that position
unbelievable.
there. Very brave driving around the outside.
And just the cars, the way the car's so hooked up, it just dealt with that curb hop there. Poor Phil on the back. Who's that? That is Pete Dawson and Neville Shields side by
Arrowsmith,
side.
the big move up on the inside of Simpson. He's taken P2, Davo.
So nice work from Arrowsmith past Simpson. Drag race from Shields there and Dawson. And we saw Vota Botta off in the background there as they come down to the chicane. Poor Field already made massive gains in the background. Top 3 spread out a little bit. Look back here. That is Bourne Martin Coyle.
Carnage
That's
back there.
Jeff Barnard just tucked in front of them. We got Les Wilson as well in behind. Look at this though, Coyle on VGB. It's on.
Oh, we got one off.
Good
Nev
clean
Shields
start.
Nev Shields has run wide there. Lost a few positions as a result. Kissed the wall.
Still pressuring GB here again. It's a drag race up to here. GB's got the rights to the corner. I think they're going in front of them as well. That was Boda. Oh, GB!
Oh, they're loose.
GB with a bit of a slip there.
It's so easy to do in these cars. You get a little eager on the go pedal. It's easy to over-rotate it.
He's allowed Shields to go through, but I don't think the dodge of Coyle. So who's that in the pits immediately? That's Shields in the pits.
Oh, no.
So Shields.
Must have taken more damage on that wall than it first appeared.
So, Coyle on GB again into one. GB a little bit deep into the second corner there. Running the grass. Got plenty to think about. Very tight little yeah, Paul Field up into 5th. Rusty from, I think he was in 10th in qualifying. So
Yeah, we suspected he had more pace than he showed in qualifying, so working his way through the field, just keeping an eye on the battle up front. Davo Tinnis Fenner has now stretched that lead out to around about a second over Stu Arrowsmith and Kenny Simpson running in 2nd and 3rd respectively. And Tinnis Fenner is currently setting best sector lap times as he goes, so a lot of purple on his delta.
yeah, okay. So he's on the move, isn't he?
He's
really
definitely trying to get away, get out of the slipstream here. Although that gap is now down to, if my numbers are correct, down to 3/10. Something's gone awry here for Tinnis Fenner. He's lost a second in the last 2 sectors. Arrowsmith has sucked right up onto the back of the Mustang here.
Oh, and look, if anybody can take it to him, it's Arrowsmith. And Arrowsmith will put the pressure on Simpson, ever so much a gentleman. We call Simpson at a couple of places around, don't we, Rusty? And very, very gentleman driver. But Stewie, on the other hand, if he wants to get past, he will make it well known. and immediately we saw the pressure go on into the hairpin there. That Chevy well wound up here tonight for race 1 here, Rusty.
Yeah, Stu's quite good in this situation too. He's just going to poke his nose around, make it uncomfortable, try and, get you thinking about something else in the corner. This is going to be critical up here into this first chicane. Oh, you don't want it too wide, doesn't work around there. He pulls out of it.
How close was he to be in overlap there?
Needs a good exit here. Get it in nice and tight, use the camera of the track, get the power down.
It's a tricky track to pass on, isn't it? It's just
It is.
super far straight here, but
This is your next opportunity coming up to this complex here, but he's too far away to make anything stick this time around. It is possible to kind of get up on the inside here, muscle someone out.
He
Just
bides
trying
his
to
time.
hold, yeah, and get the best apex for this second part here. But
So
those are
Venter,
two spots, two big overtaking areas.
absolutely. Venter driving a very measured race at the moment. The rest of the field a little bit spread throughout. Coyle now past Jeff Barner as well. Vaughan Martin tucked in behind Les Wilson in the Nengarn Performance Car. Max Cat not that far behind, and Nev Shields well back. Actually, I think the leaders are starting to sort of climb back behind him there. He has been through the pit lane, has Nev Shields.
Aerosmith's run wide onto the grass. He's managed to save it.
Wow.
Incredible effort to save it, but he's getting very impatient behind Venter
Oh,
here.
look at this. It's Venter
got a big
missed a
run.
gear or something there. Oh no, we've got a
got a safety
competition.
car.
We
We've got a
have
safety car.
we do have a competition course in here. So I think the stewards might have looked at that something there, and they're gonna just bunch this field up here a little, Rusty.
This actually works against Aerosmith. I feel like he was making good strides
Yeah.
into Venter,
Yeah.
and now he's going to have Dawson all over the back of him to worry about. He's not going to be able to focus.
And Simpson alike. And now look where Paul Field is as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, that top five there is it's a very, very heated little bunch there. All with super pace. Also super, should I, good segue, pardon the pun. Super in 6 as well, definitely one to look out for.
This also means, Davo, that Nev Shields has been able to go into pits, repair the damage, and is still on the lead lap. He's racing around to catch up to the back of the field now.
We'll just see if we can pick up on Nev Shields' car. So he's just running it down towards the hairpin now. So I would suspect these guys will go green around about the start-finish line here. Rusty.
I don't know. I reckon they'll wait for Nev to get onto the back of the train here, so it might be on the back straight, perhaps.
Oh no,
Very
they're off.
gentlemanlike.
They're on. Here we go.
Nev's caught up to the back of the pack now.
Tennis with the jump. So we're green. Aerosmith, surely the tyres are cool. Just that fraction there, Rusty, as well. And that will affect the handling of these cars. But Venter off like a rocket with Aerosmith in tow.
They've dropped Dawson immediately.
Absolutely.
Very deep there from Aerosmith. Lucky not to collect the back, souvenir off the back of Venter's car there through that.
And that clearly has a bunch of the field. That's exactly what they're looking for here. Super in 6, Voter in 7, Coyle in 8, Jeff Barner in 9, Vaughan Martin in 10, Les Wilson, Neville Shields, and Max Cat rounding out the 13. What's going on up the front here? Voter with the jump, Aerosmith second, Dawson. Very.
Dawson just starting to gap Kenny Simpson ever so slightly now as well.
I think he needs to, but a fairly organised, and the boys have gapped. Very orderly pack. I don't know who that is in the back.
Oh, there's contact
Coyle.
up front. Aerosmith has hit the rear of Venter, Davo. They've both kept it on track.
Oh,
They've
look,
both held
they've
position.
both survived it, but it hasn't brought them back to Dawson's car. And now Simpson in tow. That has bunched it even more. This is the second
This is
from
going to
the
get very
restart.
angry very
This
quickly.
is going to get very agitated. A little over 5 minutes to go, Rusty. These races go so quickly. Look at Aerosmith now.
Oh, it's full aggression now. He's got a really good run here, but I don't know if you just can't do too wide through this turn.
No,
If he sticks
Oh,
it,
here
he's
he
going
goes.
onto it. No, gotta get out of
pulls out again. And rightly so, too. Is on caution. Gets out of there. Look at Dawson. Nearly gets overlap on Aerosmith. There's Kenny Simpson going, come on, guys. Let's get this train rolling.
Phil Davidson also joining us in the chat. Dave, I couldn't be out on track tonight, had other commitments in iRacing. He says there's no safe word with these cars. It's all in every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And look at this top five. My. There is less than 5 minutes to
just
go.
getting onto the back of it now too.
Yeah,
He'll
Fieldsy
make it
on the back.
uncomfortable.
A little bit of a slip on the back wheel of the Dodge on the grass there. Really doesn't slow his progress at all. That is super. And Vota Botta in the bright green Mustang in the background.
And Aerosmith's been getting a better run off that last turn all night. But by the time he gets up here to turn one, he's just not far enough up to be able to squeeze him out.
No.
But that's the place he's going to get it done, if anywhere, I think.
But look at the pace those two get off the final corner. They actually get a gap on Dawson and Simpson.
Getting the power down much earlier.
Yeah, definitely picking up that throttle earlier. Now this is where we saw Aerosmith just tag the back of Venter's car. Oh, Dawson so deep in the Dodge there. Really showing some form. The back end of the race here. It's getting hot.
I think Aerosmith's car, for whatever reason, be it driving style or setup tweaks, just looks a lot stronger in the slower corners than Venter's car does. But then through these kinds of sections, Venter's car's getting such good drive out of those slower corners that he's able to pull this, necessary little gap again. But definitely on entry to those slower corners, Aerosmith's car looks really well hooked up. And just sticking the nose in at turn one.
The way the Chevy's hooked up in the front is impressive, actually.
Definitely.
And it's probably one of the hardest things to get these things to do, isn't it? Like a brake and turn.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Look at that pack, though. Top four. Really close together there.
Dawson's having a big look here. Slipping the nose in.
Now, Dawson was strong there last lap in that corner. Fieldsy just tagged on, not quite being able to keep that green-eyed Dodge on the back of that pack. The pace is hectic.
Stu's getting very impatient now. There's a lot of Van Gisbergening going on there from Stu Aerosmith. Just touching and nudging and rubbing and pushing and
It's gesturing.
He's Gisberging all over the back of his car. Gizzing.
But look, again, like we mentioned, these cars very nice and stable. Really do deal with a little bit of a paint exchange here and there. And that's what it's all about. Look.
Oh, found a big sideways on exit
And
there.
he'll be vulnerable there.
That could be the opening that Aerosmith needs.
Aerosmith has got the
knows
run.
it too. He's going to
It's
defend.
late. He's going to defend.
But if you can hold it around the outside here, you are on the inside for the next turn.
Oh, Venter deep. Venter way too deep. Dawson and Simpson involved now.
Capitalising.
Oh, no. Aerosmith giving Simpson the squeeze. That's allowed Paul Field possibly to sneak past as well. Rusty, it's all going on. They've got a minute and a half to go. Is that no surprise at all?
No surprise at all. It looked to me like they both went a little bit deep, and Venter might have just, didn't leave much track there for Aerosmith on exit. So.
No, Venter definitely looked like he went deep.
But I think they both went a little deep.
Yeah. And they just ran out of track, didn't they? And Dawson's just like, yes, I'm right there. Now he's the meat in that sandwich.
He made off like a thief in the night, that one. That was a free position.
Look, he's under pressure here.
Aerosmith
with
Aerosmith try the outside again? He's going to have to. He's being pushed to the outside again. He'd be thinking, oh, please,
sucker for punishment or what?
Yeah. Now, is Kenny going to get past him this time around? Big deep on the brakes.
Look out. Is Kenny gather it up? He's looks like he has.
It.
He gives the space and... Oh,
wow.
Rusty.
Great driving.
That's spectacular stuff. Oh, Dawson runs in deep. Little tap on the corner there. Again,
is all helping Venter, who's just stretched his legs a little. It's out to
30
0.5 of a
seconds.
second.
25 seconds. They will definitely run another lap here as they peel out onto the start-finish straight.
Look at the drag on Aerosmith on Venter. I wonder if he's running a low wing setup compared to the Mustang. Another big hit under brakes.
Big pinch of the brakes and maybe a bit of contact from Dawson there. Really unsettled Aerosmith's car. We've got Simpson and Paul Field background going at it. Aerosmith.
Close enough.
It's got nothing. Dawson's just like going, I have got a little bit more. So we run down to the final hairpin for the final time here. Race 1. Pukekohe Shakedown. Hardcore Online Gaming's V8 Rumble TA2 series. Ladies and gentlemen, what a race. Straight out of the gates. Tennis Venter runs to the line to take the win with Aerosmith with overlap across the line. Pete Dawson in third. Paul Field, Kenny Simpson. Super running out of the final corner to pick up 6th. Vota Botta. Les Wilson in the Nengun Performance car, keeping Voda honest there. Max Cat in 9th, coming through the hairpin now. Vaughan Martin, Neville Shields, Jeff Barner and Coyle all back in the pits as we speak. Look at that. These guys will be virtual high-fiving as we speak. What a cracking race to kick things off tonight, Rusty.
Yeah, great. Wasn't much separating the top two. A 1/10 of a second between P1 and P2. So bring on race 2. Really looking forward to it now. Tennis Venter obviously very quick, but did look pretty loose at the end of that first race. I feel like Aerosmith with another lap or two might have got it done.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely a lot of Van Gisbergening happening back there.
Very much so. We got time for maybe just a couple of really short interviews there. Rusty, do you think?
Sure.
We'll go Dawson, Aerosmith, and then Venter.
Okay. I can't drag people in.
Oh, okay. Let's do this. Pete Dawson in the hot box.
Hi there. How's it going?
Well, my friend, what a cracking race.
Mate, it looked like you found yourself in a really good position there behind the top two who were getting pretty bitchy with each other. There was a bit of elbows out happening in front. You must have thought, oh, this is fantastic. I'll just bide my time here. These two are going to take care of it for me. Was that going through your mind at any stage?
Well, I was hoping, but they're too good for that.
They're doing all right with it.
Yeah.
So,
fantastic effort, mate.
Mate, managed to sneak through there, but really tough battle right to the end there, Pete. Definitely coming up to speed in the cars, mate.
Yeah, well, Fieldsy helps with his setups too,
Yep.
He does a really good job.
Well done, mate. Yep.
Awesome.
Another race coming up, another short one, so back at it.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Peter. Pete Dawson, everyone. Next is, let's see if we can get this man up here. Do we have Stu Aerosmith on the line?
Hey, guys.
How you doing, mate? What a race, my friend. Looks.
Yeah, that was epic, eh? Grin from ear to ear.
Yeah.
Mate, it looked like at different parts of the race, you actually had, I felt like you had Venter's measure towards the back end of that race. It looked like he was getting a fair bit loose. You were doing everything possible to loosen him up a little bit, I might add, though.
What was
With the little rat-a-tat-tats on the back bumper there. I could tell it looked a little frustrating on board, but
what was the
you must be
description?
confident.
It was Van Gisberging him.
You were gizzing all over the back of his car.
Yeah, a few dizzy moments. Not meaning to make contact, but close racing. I think Tinnis might have a couple of bags of fertilizer in the boot.
Okay.
Going off his times previously, but mate, it looks good. It's fun, and we're all having a laugh, and having a good time.
Oh, that's
Awesome
good
stuff,
stuff,
mate.
mate. The Camaro looks really hooked up around here. It looks like the setup's working well for you as well.
Yeah, I've got to fly the flag for Chevy because I think there's there's me and Yuli, sorry, further down.
Yep. And a couple of Dodgers in the field. The rest, it's a bit of a pony fest other than that. So nice work, Stewie, in the Camaro.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Well done, mate. Good luck, race 2.
Yep, enjoy. Thanks.
Good one. Stu Arrowsmith, everyone. And top of the list was Mr. Tinner Spenter. Mr. Tinner Spenter, do you have a...
Evening.
Well
evening, mate.
Done, Tinnis. How was that race? What a cracker.
Yeah, it was a bit relaxing, to be honest.
Relaxing, okay.
You got a funny way of relaxing, mate. It looked pretty hectic from up here.
Sorry, Rusty, I can't hear you.
Oh, you must have me muted.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It didn't look relaxing at all, Tinnis. So
Yeah, I think from my end, I was just controlling the race. So I knew passing on this track is really difficult. And if I
Yep.
get out of the acceleration zones, 2 or 3 tenths ahead of Stu, it's going to be tough for him. It would have been tough for him to pass me. So it was just controlling the pace. No point in pushing the tires in the first stint because I knew we were just going to get back bunched up again. So straightforward.
absolutely.
Sorry, I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but
No, look, that's exactly whatever, Tinnis. It looked epic from our end. Either way, no matter how relaxed you felt about it. So it was really good stuff. Really great battle to watch with pretty well the whole top 5. Particularly yourself and Stu Arrowsmith going at it pretty well the whole race. Awesome stuff. We're going to let you go. Have a quick break. As we will ourselves. Good luck for the next race. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again before the end of the night.
great. Okay. Take
Awesome.
care, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Dennis Venter, everyone. And like I mentioned, Rusty, we will go for a quick intermission and don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are back here at Pukekohe for Hardcore Online Gaming's 2024 TA2 series, the V8 Rumble series. It's brought to you by MATCHFIT Entertainment and Nautech. Gamma flares involved. We've got some interest from the TA2 boys in Oz and New Zealand. The boys are back out on track again in readiness for race 2 in behind the V8 Rumble Supercar. Pace car here. And what a cracking race. Race 1 was, Rusty.
Indeed, yes. Looking forward to race 2. Is the way that we're organised on the grid here, is that based off your race 1 finishing position, is it?
So,
I'm just looking,
yes.
Spring and Barnier were DNFs in that last race.
Yes. So finishing positions. So 1 qualifying over the night. At this stage. So
Well, that's good, because that's going to make sure that hostilities resume as we left off in race 1. Obviously, you'll remember Tinnis Venner coming home in front of Stu Arrowsmith by a 10th of a second over the line. Said he was looking after his tyres a fair bit in the opening of that stint, so we'll see how they go on for race 2. But obviously Kenny and Pete Dawson very close behind. Their pace wasn't far off either, so they could find themselves well in the fight also. Paul Field now up to P5. Davo did start at the back of the grid in race 1. We know what sort of pace Field has, so he'll be looking to inject himself as well, I think. It's going to be an angry pack up front, mate.
You know it. You absolutely know it. I've seen a lot of tyre warming via the Liquid Molly Chevy of Disco Stu there, aka Stu Arrowsmith, and look at that lineup, just looking over the back wing of Tina Spencer's car here as they roll around this final little couple of corners here. The safety car will have peeled off to the pits now. They are waiting for a green flag. Good field here tonight. 13 cars on track. The first race was anything to go by. This is just, like you said, Rusty, gonna just be business as usual. Right back to the battle. Dawson and Simpson. Simpson on the outside. Side by side from Arrowsmith and Venter as well. Side by side. Both front rows. Through that final complex. Who's that sideways? That's Dawson. He'll lose a position surely to Paul Field. Simpson still warming tyres in the background. Rhoda Bonner covering his line from forward. Martin there tags the back of Super. I think that does Super recover. Yes, he does. Great recovery.
Great call, Davo. There's not much separating the guys at the front either. 1.5 seconds separating first to fourth.
So I think Boda's little tag on the back of Super there, he probably suffered more from that than anybody, actually. He has dropped well down the field there as he addressed that lump of a car after that little tangle. But yeah, relatively good, clean start there. Rusty, man, these guys, don't they get into it straight away?
Yeah, there's no kind of feeling like, oh, I'll just take a couple of laps, find my rhythm, find my pace out there. No, straight in, elbows out.
There's none of it. There's zero of that, isn't there?
Well, the argument would be it's only a 15-minute race, so I haven't got time to get used to it.
Get amongst it. Get amongst it. That's right. As we look over the back of Simpson's car, that is Pete Dawson's Dodge there with the Dodge of Paul Field, actually, the bright purple. How could you miss it? The green-eyed monster tucked in behind there. Dawson will have his work cut out for him to try and get past Simpson. Simpson with great pace, and now he is sandwiched in between Simpson and Paul Field. Tinnis Venter not able to get much of a gain there. Venter's Mustang looks very hooked up. we did hear Stu Harrison saying that he thought there might have been a few bags, a few extra pies in the back of that car.
Correct, yes.
And
Couple
Venter
of bags of fertilisers.
Venter did sound extremely relaxed at the at the end of that race, Rusty. So it doesn't sound like he's working too hard for it here.
Gee, I don't know. It looks like that could change at any minute here, Stu. It looks like Stu's getting ready to send it down the inside here.
Doesn't it what? Doesn't it what?
If he can get a good run off this turn, he has been traditionally a little bit quicker through this last turn. Fenner does quite well there.
He does,
the
he
gap.
does. But this run that the Chevy gets down the start finish straight here, and we saw it lap after lap in the first race into T1 there with pretty well with overlap a few times on the Venter Mustang. Now,
Just not enough to keep it stuck up.
Now, that Camaro has plenty to think about. But Simpson was, up until that last corner, starting to tag onto the back of that battle. Now Simpson with a big sideways has got, who is it? Pete Dawson in the Dodge. Dawson, look, Ace, really mixing it into the top three on the podium for race one, Rusty.
Absolutely, mate. Aerosmith again. He's hunting all over the back of this Venter car. It's mesmerising to watch lap after lap in the same parts of the track where he seems to zoom right in, and then Venter's able to pull the gap out again. Looks a little bit closer this time on this lap. It's going to be the same problem as lap one, though, I suspect. He's going to put it on the inside and not be able to get his way through.
Not be able to get it done. As we just look out of the back of Max Cat's car, and we're looking at Neville Shields and Coyle with contact out of the final corner there. Both of them keeping those lumps pointing in the right direction. Wow, very hectic stuff there. I think that's Jeff Barner actually.
Got a safety car, Davo, safety car.
M&M car. So these guys pulling it up quick here. We've seen this in the shakedowns a little bit leading up to the series here, Rusty, where these guys, the officials, pulling versatile safety car out just to bunch the field, keep these guys all in contact with each other, allows them to learn that craft, allows them to get used to racing side by side and amongst the pack here. So good stuff. As we see Venter controlling the field at the moment, Aerosmith behind Kenny Simpson. Now we thought last race that might not give Aerosmith an advantage here. That might be different this race, I think, Russ.
Yeah, it could be. Are we a little earlier for the safety car this race as well than we were in the last race?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
A couple of laps at least.
Not a lot, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Vota looks like the car they are chasing back, getting to come back on. He's actually run into the, so he's had damage. So we're back to the front of the field. Venter with control, and he's accelerating. So we've got a green light.
Yep, they're away.
Over the back wing of Venter's car. You can see the intent from Kenny Simpson as well, but Simpson immediately
Smith's very close here.
on the exit.
Smith's very close.
And Dawson,
he's going for it.
Dawson passed already on Simpson. So again, Aerosmith looking for that outside line.
Venter defended very well there.
It's business as usual here with the top five in order. I think the only thing that's changed is the Simpson and Paul Field. That is someone up in the background.
Super. That's super gone off in the Kirby Racing Mustang.
Ah, yes, it is too. The number 90 car. Coyle.
Harrison's going up the inside again here at turn one, and the same thing, has to pull out of it.
The pressure that Venter must be dealing with here to manage that. Look at this top five. You could throw a blanket over this lot, Rusty, and they'd still be punching on. Look at it. Shields and Coyle. Oh, Shields down the inside.
Big dive
Can
up
he
the
make it?
inside.
Oh, runs wide.
Drops 2 wheels off on the grass.
Definitely forced Max wide as well. That's put him vulnerable to Jeff Barno as well. And that is Yuli in there. We'll go back to Nev Shields and these two, Nev and Coyle, side by side down to the hairpin. Now Max has got Jeff and Les Wilson to deal with. How are we looking up the front there, Rusty?
Aerosmith still all over the back of Tinnis Venta.
No
There's about
surprise.
a 1/10.5 in it. They're just coming around the first chicane of sector 1, Davo. About to head onto the back straight.
Varna down the inside in 1. Nicely on Max. Max probably left that open a little bit. Probably pulled out of the throttle, just letting that happen nice and cleanly.
Aerosmith side by Venta. It looks like he might have got done. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. Venta just bumps him out of the
Wide
way.
he is now.
There was a little
Dawson
door-to-door
wants to
action there.
go on the outside. Aerosmith, does he give him the space? No, he doesn't.
He'd be getting angry now, I
Dawson
reckon.
vulnerable. Dawson vulnerable to Simpson now. Bearing to both. If we look out of the back of that, and again, Fields has got past, Paul Field past Simpson in that little exchange there. We saw that in the back end of race 1 as well. Kenny getting tangled up with what's going on in front of him. Oh, look at Fields. Just total slide through 1.
Giving it everything.
Oh, and again, out of 2. That surely he's going to be vulnerable there. Simpson's going to get him easily.
Great run from Simpson.
Quality stuff up the front here, Rusty.
5 minutes to go. Aerosmith has not left the back of Tinnis Venta's Mustang yet. But I feel like in the places where it's strong, it's just not. There's a big tap on the back of the Mustang there. Another Gisbergen Davo for the night. Put another $1 in the jar. We've had another Giz.
It's very Gisberg-esque.
Oh, loves it. So it's usually through this part of the circuit. He's quite strong at the back of the straight, but it's like both straights are about 100 metres too short for him to make any use of it.
Yeah. Oh, well, if that, actually.
If that.
If he had that little bit more overlap, but then it really does take the advantage out of it if they do get caught in turn 1 side by side there, doesn't it, for both of them?
It does.
So, yeah, look, Aerosmith, he needs it down here or into the hairpin after this little complex here. I remember the old days, Rusty, we used to run the original version and it
Straight
was
round the outside.
and it was all the way down to the hairpin. Big stops, old cars, no brakes, no aero, lots of locking up. It was good fun. Here we go. He's back on the tail.
He's got a
Dawson's
good run here, but he's going to run out of room.
Dawson's got a bit of breathing space there. Oh, ow. Very close from Aerosmith again. See the tyre smoke licking from these cars, so really working the front. That's Tinnis, a little bit of grass there. Again.
You see the line he takes, he gets out really nice and wide, whereas Aerosmith tends to hug the inside a little more.
Dawson, look at Dawson range up here. On the
not
back of
far off.
Aerosmith. Little bit too exuberant on the loud pedal there, I think, for Dawson.
Easy to do though when you've got a couple of carrots in front of you, you know. Easy
Yeah.
to get a little too keen.
And again, like I mentioned earlier, it's like the cars are very forgiving until you really get them on that
On the
ultimate
absolute edge.
lateral edge. And you pick that throttle up, mate, and you will.
Snaps out of your hands.
It does. You've got to get involved.
Yep.
So, look at this top 5.
Don't skip arm day before you do the TA2s. Make sure.
No, the steering. Way to the steering. The boys are really having to turn some of the settings down. Venta again in the grass. We've got Fields in the background in the grass. We can't get the cameras off this top 5 here, guys.
Dawson just gets ever closer every single time they go through there. You can have a big
Oh,
look up the
Dawson!
inside.
Oh. I don't think there was even contact there, Rusty.
There
Looked
wasn't.
like-
They got through clean, amazing.
yeah, I'm sure Aerosmith read that, gave him a little bit of space there and wriggled due to it. But nice work from both. They do have only 2 minutes to go, Rusty. Let's just roll back through the field. We got Neville Shields in 6th in clean air. Coyle also in clean air. We got Jeff Barner, Max Cat, Les Wilson and Super in close succession there. Vaughan Mutton back in the pits and Volta also back in the pit. Back up the front here though, no such luck for these guys. It is full bore as we see Fields in the background, Super sideways in the purple people eater. Dodge.
Yeah, and Aerosmith's really going for it here. He's trying to force a decider. We've got 3 races tonight, so if Venter wins the first and Aerosmith wins the second, then it's whoever wins the third kind of takes home the round. Even though it is a shakedown round, you'd still be wanting to finish on top at the end.
Just looks cool as a cucumber though, doesn't he? Just
He
doesn't
does,
seem
yeah.
to be phased by anything Aerosmith throws at him. Even when there's a little bit of
Yeah, he
Tennyson-
knows where to put the car to make it difficult for Stu to, find that room that he's going to need to overtake. Tennis is a very good defender, and he's putting it, in the worst possible place, which is your job at this point in time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Dawson down the inside, more contact again with Aerosmith, same corner into the hairpin there.
Kenny's having a big look at him too now.
They will have another lap. Kenny having a huge look actually on the dodge. You're right there, Rusty. Out of the final corner, across the start-finish line. There will be one more lap after this. Look at Simpson down the inside. On the grass. Not going to make that stick. The Chevy of Stu Aerosmith, you can see in the foreground there, attacking Venter's car, as usual. Coral Spring in 6th, Jeff Barner in 7th. One more lap, this is it. Aerosmith. Is that it? Is that it? One more big break here.
Just got to try and get up as close as he can for the last turn. I think that's going to be his best chance.
Dawson in 3rd.
Just trying to put some pressure on him that fast right-hander, but I don't think he's close enough to do it. Oh, he's going to have a big run on him here. It's a
good
big
go at
run.
this. Oh, side by side, drag race. He's got
I think
it.
he's got him. He's got it. He's got it.
Wow. Wow. Oh, my. That is
3/100ths of a second, the difference between them.
Pardon me, I'm hoarse.
That'll be going on the highlight vid.
Whoa. Aerosmith over Venter, over Pete Dawson, Kenny Simpson, Paul Field. Pardon me. Coral Spring. Jeff Barner. Mate. What a finish to race 2 there in the Hardcore Online Gaming 2024 TA2 V8 Rumble Series. Neville Shields in the pits already, but look, how about that? Stu Aerosmith, Tennis Venter, Pete Dawson, Kenny Simpson, Paul Field, Coil Spring, Jeff Barner, Super in 8th, Max Cat in 9th, Les Wilson rounding out the top 10. Rusty, how
Fantastic
about that?
work. What a finish. We did call it kind of halfway through that last lap. That's going to be his best chance. It's going to be around that last turn, try and put some pressure on him. And, it worked a treat, didn't it? You could see the drive that he got out of there. And, the straight was a little too long on that occasion.
Okay, well, let's get the boys back up here again. Let's have a chat. Let's have a quick chat. Pete Dawson, you got us on comms, brother.
Yeah.
How was that one? It looked... Do you tell us your side of it? Because it looked like you had a really good shot at second there, mate.
It was pretty sketchy. I was having a good go, but I lowered the wing a little bit. So I was a bit squirrely, but Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, plenty of pressure on Aerosmith there the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
race, mate. Hey, like we just weren't sure what was going to go on, and you
Well, it
can't.
felt like every time he challenged Venter in front, it would cost him. You'd be
Yeah,
on his ass then immediately. So
that's what was keeping me in it, I guess. Yeah.
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 Oh, fantastic work though. Very entertaining, mate. Well
Oh,
done.
definitely. And you always had that pressure of Simpson and Fields behind you as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
because they're no slouches either.
They're pretty good.
They are. Awesome work, Pete. Look, well, it sounds like we might be talking to you again in another half an hour or so. So you have a quick break. Excellent work there again on the podium, race 2.
Okay.
Excellent
Thanks,
work.
guys.
Thanks, Peter.
Cool.
Pete Dawson, everyone. This time, it's a bit of a change up because we have Tennis Venter in the comms box. Tennis Venter, you got us on comms there, mate. Tennis Venter.
Might have stepped away for an intermission, Davo.
Could have stepped away for an intermission because that's what we do.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, hang on. Mate.
Yeah, that was
Mate.
quite interesting.
That was quite interesting. What happened there? Go on.
Well, I didn't think it was gonna give me a run to the line, but it just got a better drive off the final corner, so he took it. It is what it is. Well done to Stu.
Can you hear me, Tennis?
Yeah, can you hear?
Oh,
Nice.
thank you. Yeah, so it was interesting watching the back end of that race. Stu was very strong in a couple of places at the end of the straights, but there really wasn't much he could do about it when he got there because of the nature of the turn. You were defending quite well, putting the car, exactly where he didn't want it to be. So it looked like you were in control for most of that, and there really was no other chance except for he has been getting kind of a better run off that last turn, lap after lap. But then by the time you get to turn 1, you kind of squeeze him out. There's nothing he can do. So it's been great driving. Do you think he might be running a little bit less wing? Would that be? Are you noticing that on track?
No, I'm not noticing it, especially not on the back straight. But what I did notice is one of the bumps that I got, for some reason, I started losing top end. On the
Right.
car. So, but that helped me in certain places because I was able to
Sure.
brake later than where I was braking previously.
Yep.
But that's just he just got a much better run coming out of the final corner, and there was nothing I can do. It caught me a bit, sleeping on that one. So
Well, unlucky for him, mate. There's only one race to go, and now you're aware of it. So I don't think it's going to work a second time. I think the inside will be well and truly covered in the last race should the opportunity arise again. So the decider coming up, mate. Looking forward to it. Another 10 minutes out there. Go get them. Good luck, eh?
Yeah, thanks.
Nice work. Thank you. Tennis Venter, everyone. And last but definitely not least, we have...
Oh, get him in. Get him in.
Mr. Aerosmith, Stu Aerosmith, mate. Wow. We did not see that coming. I tell you, we were looking out of the back of
That's not
Tennis's
true.
car.
I did see it coming. That's exactly what I called on the last lap. I said, this is his best chance here. It's going to be put pressure on him the last turn, and that's going to be the only other place that he can get it.
It was very good.
But I thought you were too far away to even do that. So, no, well done, mate. I just remarked to Tennis in his interview that it's looking so far tonight that your car has a really, a strength down those 2 straights. I wonder if you're maybe running a little bit less wing. But the problem is, it appears when you get to the corner, there's nothing you can do about it because, he's defending quite well. And at turn 1, it's not really, you don't really want to go too wide through there. So you're kind of just having to pull out of it every time. Is that the way it feels on track for you?
Yeah. There's been a few close ones into turn 1, but I don't want to turn them around, and I've already given more punts.
There's been a lot of little taps.
Yeah, so I'll try and dial that back for the second race, for this last race. But
it's all looked pretty fair. The racing, it's been aggressive, Davo. It's been a lot of bumping and nudging, but it's fair. Everyone's
definitely
given as good as they're getting. So
it's fantastic to watch, mate. Fantastic to watch. Yeah, you guys are going at it.
Yeah, great effort, mate. Now it's the decider. So
yes,
if you win the last one, you'll take round honours, mate.
Yeah, and I think I'm starting 6th, reverse top 6 cars.
Going to reverse the top 6. There you go. So stewards, I did wonder whether we were going to do that for the shakedown. So awesome. That's going to be good news. It'll make it even better to watch. Awesome work, Stu Arrowsmith.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks to you guys, the MATCHFIT.
Too easy. Thank you, Stu Arrowsmith, everyone. Taking out the top spot with a freaking drag race to the finish line, Rusty. Wow, like you said, we did see it coming. We did call it, but like he had been hitting those marks like for the whole race and hadn't delivered, and he delivered right at the right time, didn't he, mate?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Bodes well for the final race here now. Like I said, they've traded honours, right? One each. They've each got a win, and now they're going to have to get their way through a little bit of traffic as well. So
Definitely.
it's all up, all on race 3.
Absolutely. We will have a short intermission, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go. It's the Hardcore Online Gaming 2024 TA2 V8 Rumble Series. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. You've joined us again here for Hardcore Online Gaming's 2024 TA2 V8 Rumble Series. It's a shakedown here at Pukekohe. We've just had a couple of cracking races, a couple of quick fire 15-minute races. We are about to go into the 25-minute main. All this proudly brought to you by MATCHFIT Entertainment and Nautech, Gamma Flare, and TA2 Oz and New Zealand. I'm Davo, and as usual, I've got Rusty back by my side. My friend, how has the racing been?
Oh, how good's the racing been? Davo, we've had 2 races. Race 1 was decided by a 10th of a second. Race 2 was decided by less than half of a 10th of a second. How many times have you seen 2 races finish like that back to back? With the honours being exchanged, you know, P1 in race 1 was P2 in race 2.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, how good is that? So it's all gearing up for a very exciting race 3, as Aerosmith, you know, alluded to in the hot box. It's tops. Yeah, there's a changed order here.
Kenny Simpson, then Pete Dawson, Venta, Aerosmith, Barna, Super, Max Cat, Wilson, Shields, and Martin with a Rota Botta rounding out the 13 there, Rusty. This is going to shake things up, and you know it as much as I do.
It definitely will shake things up. Immediately, my hopes, my thoughts and prayers with Tennis Venter and Stu Aerosmith in 5th and 6th, being mid-pack, coming into this first kind of chicane here at Pukekohe. It's not uncommon to see cars get turned around there and into the wall, and there's your race, your 25-minute race done immediately. So they will be 100% completely focused on surviving the first lap, getting through clean. They will be watching their mirrors for people diving and all that kind of stuff intently. Now, the big winner here, I feel like, is going to be Paul Field, because he has pace. He was running with the top 4 for most of that last race, pace-wise. So if he can get himself in front here, and, you know, just try and bridge a little gap while, you know, your Ventas, your Dawsons and your Aerosmith are kind of fighting amongst each other and trying to defend their positions. If he can get a little gap here, look out. Could be one that he drives away with.
Oh, definitely. I tend to agree. Fields, I think with, you know, Simpson sort of level of pace, or very close to it. And so, yeah, definitely in a very good position here as he just
cools the tyres.
Just cools, the left-hand side there.
Commentator's curse works in warm-up laps now, apparently.
See, well, clearly it does. As we see the V8 Rumble safety car peel off into the pits. Rusty, mate, I am nearly hoarse from calling that last race, because the action is aplenty.
Got to pace yourself, Davo.
In such a small field, it is incredible as the boys roll around again for the main game here. 25 minutes. We're going to go green any moment. Coyle with Paul Field. Look at Venter with the run on Simpson immediately into 1. He'll want to try and make that stick. There's contact. Keeps it clean. Oh, no.
Venter's around.
It's got bigger. That's Dawson also spinning. Dawson might actually regather that, pointing in the right direction, has done, lost multiple positions. But who has got the advantage there? Rusty, you called it. Paul Field, Simpson on Coyle, around immediately, but Paul Field.
Aerosmith's the real danger here, because this time around he doesn't have Tennis Venter in front of him. Fender, unfortunately, having that incident with Dawson. Dawson's also out of the picture, so it's taken a couple of cars out of the way of Stu.
Couple of the main players there, definitely.
Yep. So if I were Paul, I'd be watching that relative Paul Field up front and just, you know, sending up a little prayer. Kenny and Coyle, keep him behind for me, will you, fellas? Just keep him busy for a few laps.
Just for a few, at least.
At least. Give me a chance here. Just give me a little chance to get away.
We will just... Oh, look, not quite as tidy as we've seen in the last couple of races, but to be expected, Rusty, you know, like this, these reverse grids always throw a spanner in the mix, and it looks like we have got
Safety
a
car.
full track caution again here. Safety car as they slowed just one bit. Is that Tinner's Venter's car
Up against the wall still.
still
Yep.
in the wall. I think
And that's
Shields
Nev
is
Shields
going
going
over
over
to
to
just-
check on him to see if, is he stuck? I think he's
He
stuck there.
might be stuck in there.
Oh, he's going to
So,
go for a big ram here.
Shields, he's just going to...
No, he's gonna leave him.
He thought it's better. He thought it's better.
Oh, that was very sporting there for a moment until it wasn't.
Maybe the first little
It's like,
tap.
oh, well, I tried, mate.
The first little tap Nev went, oh, shit. That hurt.
Yeah, why am I doing my own aero in here? Might be a
We
reset
just-
to pits here for Venter.
As we get out to Paul Fields, the purple people eater. Kookaburra Cycles, purple Dodge here. He's got Simpson in that stunning looking Mustang. And
It really is a
we've gone
looker.
green here, I think, here. Rusty
They are green.
and
That means
Fields.
it's a DNF for Venter.
Fields has caught him napping. He's off. Slip. Simpson, not only Simpson, but Coyle, Stu Harris, and Super all napping. Simpson with all sorts of grief coming from Jeff Barner. So that's a healthy little pack there. That's Jeff, Super Jeff, Max Cat, and Vaughan Martin. Oh, Vaughan!
Oh, that was nasty.
It was just picking up that throttle a little too heavy. It's allowed. Les Wilson rode a bottom. Dawson and the rest. Vaughan Martin.
Only just
All
come
through-
back from safety car. The tyres are cold. The brakes are cold. Grip's low. A little too eager on the gas pedal.
Easily done.
Very easily done.
So, as we suspected, and you called it right from the get-go before the green light fell there, Rusty, the advantage that Paul Field will have from that start position. I wonder if he slipped the stewards a 50 to, just talk him into that screen there.
Gave him a little of the Carlos Science treatment.
Yeah, it's the incentive. It's an incentive, As we see Coyle looking...
Yeah, people were so happy when Charles Leclerc won the Monaco Grand Prix. I think Carlos Sainz was the driver of the day. He had a puncture and pulled it up in lap 1 and somehow managed to finish the race after a restart. So that's fantastic, isn't it? So
Yeah, well...
driver of the day, Carlos Sainz.
Unbelievable.
What an effort.
Unbelievable.
On this track though, Kenny is not going anywhere. If anything, he's taken a little chunk out of Fields here.
Well, look, I think ultimately he has the pace on Fields, as we just watched, picking up the cameras out of the back of Coyle's car here with Stu Arrowsmith.
Yeah, because
on
that
his
was the
tail.
next thing I was going to mention. It looks like Stu's having a hard time getting past Coyle.
Oh, here we
Although
go.
he might do it on this lap, and Kenny might be making the most of that now.
So really clear overlap there from Arrowsmith.
Done.
Makes it happen. Really got a grip on that car. You just look in the back end a little bit there. That is Jeff Barner, Max Cat, Les Wilson, and Pete Dawson. Now Dawson covering from a little bit of contact there early in, I think it was lap 1, out of T1. With Tinnis Venter up beside the Nengun Performance car. Will he make it stick here? Now this Dodge was strong here in race 2. We talked to Pete, he said he might have knocked a little bit of, I think it was aero off the car. Oh, Max, very, very slippery. Out of the chicane, that's allowing you, Les Wilson up in the inside. Oh, will they make this work? There's contact, Wilson will address that.
See, Nev's been in the action tonight, hasn't he? 3 wide.
Nev, and that is Dawson. Wow, how close was that?
Gee, there's some angry racing down here at the back.
Look at that. We thought the top 5 was angry. Look at the back of the field here.
Dawson, of course, out of sync
Oh,
after that lap 1 incident.
Dawson
Oh,
with
that's nasty.
Oh, little tag on the back of Wilson.
Shields.
Yeah, Wilson around. I think Shields got tangled up in that as well. There, Rusty. Dawson redressing that situation there. in the Dodge. Well.
I don't know. I think that might be damage.
Has
I
it?
think that Dawson's car's got damage. No, you're right. He's picked it up now.
Yeah, just tagged the back of the Nengun performance car there. Coming out of one. The Dodge clearly showing more pace. I think Rusty and just misjudged the Nengun car.
So hard to pull up these things.
Oh, isn't it what? Yeah, especially when you get a little bit of draft too and you're moving quicker.
Yep. Yeah, not a lot of forgiveness on the brakes. If you miss your marker by not too much, you know, a car length, there's no kind of, you know, extra braking power you get out of it. It'll pull up in the grass. There's nothing you can do about it.
So Paul Field will have his head down. He will be super focused, I suspect, Rusty, with Simpson in that angry, stunning looking Mustang after it. Aaron Smith in the Chevy. We've got all three marks there. 1, 2, 3. Dodge, Ford and Chevy.
And they're going time for time as well. Stu Arrowsmith with the fastest lap of the race that last time out at 102.4. The next best is Kenny Simpson with a 102.48, followed by Paul Field with a 102.5. So there's less than a tenth in ultimate lap pace between these guys.
How close is that?
Kenny's actually looking, I feel like his car looks a little bit stronger at this phase of the race. We're about 10 minutes in now. I just wonder if he might have looked after his tyres a little better.
I think that Mustang has...
It's looked good all night.
It has looked good all night.
He's been a little bit unlucky. He's been kind of hurt by other people having battles and just been at the wrong place at the wrong time, but he's definitely got the pace, as you can see here.
Yeah, and now sitting in a podium position with 16 minutes to go. We are 10 minutes, a little under 10 minutes into this race already. But again, doesn't this top end of the field stay extremely close, Rusty, in this type of racing?
Indeed, yeah. Great fun. Get involved. Links in the description.
Yeah, get amongst
First
it.
round next week, so you haven't missed anything yet.
No, not yet. Final shakedown. These guys, you can just look at the pace of these guys. So plenty of competition. Look at Super chasing down Coyle. These guys, similar pace.
Field gets a really good exit there.
So last laps for Fields was an 0.26. Kenny 0.31 and an 0.24 for Arrowsmith. So Arrowsmith on the move, and you can see, well look, we don't have to even mention the times, you can see that visually. Arrowsmith now well tagged on the back of Simpson's car immediately. He does not muck around.
Still 15 minutes to go here. He's got the leader in sight. No need to push anything too hard here. I think just wait for your opportunity. It worked well, but he waited for his opportunity in the last race, and it took until the last corner to come, but it did come.
Back down with Neville Shields, Max Cat, Pete Dawson recovering from the lap 1 T1 incident. Slowly clawing his way back through the field. Went well back. Maybe carrying a little bit of damage as well, Rusty, I suspect.
Yeah, Super's starting to put a little bit of pressure on Spring now as well, Davo, 4th and 5th.
Arrowsmith with the fastest lap of the race. I think, like you already mentioned, with a 0.24, 2.2, and really starting to show some intent again.
He has been strong around this part of the track all night, Stu. So his hope difficult when there's two in front and not one, you know. Kenny gets a very good drive off that last turn. So he's in a bit of a slipstream train now.
Yep.
You know, Kenny's going to get the same advantage as he does, so it makes it even more difficult for Stu here to find a way through.
Yeah, getting
Nice late apex there.
very hectic at the top here.
He really got into that turn really well. Got a great exit.
And
Arrowsmith,
look
big
at
chance,
this.
big look.
Arrowsmith had the draft, looking at the side draft. Is he too far back? He's he's nearly committed there. A little bit of overlap. Oh,
Little
sliders
rub.
have
Oh, no,
touches.
he's turned
it's
Kenny
gone
around.
pear-shaped.
I think he's going to redress that. Kenny might have given him the wave ahead.
So Simpson back a position now to Super. And I think that's Coyle just tagged in on that battle too. So Simpson will have his work cut out for him now. He's going to have to get that Mustang back past Super.
Yeah, just unlucky for Kenny tonight every race. You know, he's had a little bit of bad luck every, you know.
Like you mentioned, just getting tangled up in other people's dramas, hasn't he? And
Yeah.
And look, clearly the quickest car on track other than the Aerosmith car. So
Yeah, I'd suggest Kenny too, ever the gentleman even in those moments. I think Stu would probably admit that he did put it in there a little too deep, but maybe he didn't get enough room as well. Yeah, that's worth considering. But Kenny, I suspect, would have told Stu, "Nah, mate, just keep going. Keep going, mate. You're all right."
Of course, ever the gentleman. Paul Field will have plenty to think about as Aerosmith will start to range up on the back of him in the Dodge.
Still got 10 minutes to do it. There's less than a second between them. Oh, he's got a big drive here. This is going to get done here.
No, they
He
backed
pulled
out
out
of
of
it there. So wants to race. Aerosmith quite happily.
Look at a safety car.
I'm just wondering whether these guys are slowing down actually. Although they're back into it, aren't they, straight away. So maybe a little bit of a back off between these two as they sort of work out what they're doing, where they're going with it. But straight back on Simpson now. If we just sprint back here, Simpson has still has Super to deal with. Super actually making a really good run at this race. Sat in the mid-pack most of the first two races, but currently sitting in a podium position with Simpson breathing down his neck. 10 minutes to go, Rusty.
Yeah. Stu here, again, he's got 10 minutes up his sleeve, and it just looks like Fields is getting a little bit loose in some critical exits. Like this one, for example, he's just looking a little bit sideways. It just looks a little bit testy at the moment,
Well,
that Dodge.
I saw that in the Dodge towards the end of the 15-minute races, and that's pretty well where we
That's
are
how it
now.
handles,
That's
yeah.
where we are right now, because there's
That's
10
right.
minutes to go. So it doesn't surprise me, and I just wonder whether Aerosmith is just sitting there just going, yeah, no, it's
Just
okay.
waiting for his moment.
It's just like, okay, that thing will slip too far eventually, and the door will be wide open. So just biding his time, keeping
he's
the
gonna
pressure
have a
up.
big look here.
Oh, look at this, side by side. It looks like Fields knows
Might
that he
get
hasn't
out
got
of it,
anything
yeah.
for him. Allows Aerosmith past. Pretty well opened the door there, Rusty.
Yeah, definitely, and it looked like he just didn't have the confidence through that last turn to try and stick it and pin Stu to the outside. Probably the smarter decision in the end, just slot in behind for a few laps. Let's make Stu do all the work now for a while, right?
Yeah.
Let's make him make the time. If you want to just latch onto the back of him here, Stu's warming the tires up down the straight.
So feeling pretty comfortable now. We've heard a few. Well, we heard Tinnis earlier after race one, very relaxed, like he had hardly worked for the win at all. So yeah, these guys, some of these guys really in the groove, aren't they? And really on the setup game with these cars. And are very comfortable pulling these sort of times, Rusty.
Yeah, it's a car that rewards practice, isn't it? Although easy enough to kind of get in and have some fun. you know, once you start taking those chunks of lap time away, obviously the closer you get to the edge, the harder it gets to get those lap times down. So, yeah, but a very entertaining car to drive, and as you've seen tonight, the racing is pretty good. It speaks for itself.
Well,
so.
isn't it what? I just wonder where the Simpsons cars got a bit of damage as well. So I felt Simpson would have, Kenny would have put pressure on Super by now, more than he has, and there's still like a couple of car lengths gap on those two cars.
Super did a personal best lap time last lap around, a 103 flat, and Kenny's last lap was a 102.9. So he's holding him back there with pace at the moment.
Yeah. So nice work. Paul Field unable to keep the pace of the Chevy.
Yeah, look at that.
Stu Smith really stretching his legs. An 0.2422. He did that right early in the race. There's Field. Gets wheels on the grass on the inside through one and gathers it up. Rusty, he would have been well pocket.
What a save. Oh, he'd be shifting uneasily in his chair for a week after that one.
You think so?
Yeah. That's how you pull anal muscles doing stuff like that, mate. You've got to be careful of that business.
Absolutely.
And that's put a huge carrot now out for Super to chase.
Oh, hasn't it won? As we pick
bringing Kenny along for the party.
And Kenny will be up for that. Jeff Barner in 6th. Provisionally, Coil Spring in front. You can see them both in camera.
Oh, Fields off again.
No. Oh, and that's allowed both of them past. So Super and Kenny passed there, so Fields.
I'm not sure what happened there. I'd like to see a replay. I feel like Field may have dropped a wheel onto the grass and it just gripped up and spun him.
Too much of the loud pedal, Rusty, out of the hairpin. Easily done. And then look, and just that little lapse in concentration as
That's all it takes.
Super has gone past Fields. So lapse in concentration for Fields.
Kenny's now all over the back of Super because there's a P2 on the line here.
Yeah, he was just far enough back just to measure that up a little bit nice. Oh, Super covering. Kenny looking for the outside.
Gonna try an over-under here. Keeps it tight.
Oh, gets a little bit of wheel spin out of the number 90 Super car. Currently running now in 2nd, not just in the podium, in 2nd position. Kenny Simpson in 3rd provisionally. Paul Field with a bit of a slip out in the last lap out of the hairpin there. He's dropping it back into 4th.
5 minutes to go. Field is only just over a second behind. 2nd and 3rd. You know, he's still got 4 or 5 laps, so might be enough time just to get up on the back of them if they keep fighting like the way they are, Kenny and Super at the moment.
Yeah, definitely that car has looked just uncomfortable to drive though, hasn't it? In the last 5 minutes.
It has.
So yeah, Paul Field definitely
Very slippery in the rear.
Yeah, Paul Field very much struggling with that car at the moment.
Harris Smith out in front, Davo, doing what you would expect. Doing, fastest car on track currently. Last lap was a 102.6, which is only 2/10 off the fastest lap of the race.
Which is his.
Yes, correct.
Fastest lap of the race.
So definitely making hay. The sun is shining here at Pukekohe. Look by Simpson. Huge look coming into the chicane. Super's driving well, putting it where it needs to be.
I think he needs to, Rusty, because we know how strong that stunning-looking Mustang is. Simpson's car it's strong. The '68 Mustang. I just wonder, like I mentioned a few laps ago, whether it's just carrying a little bit of damage. I thought he would have forced the issue a little bit more by now.
Oh, it looks good on entry too.
Oh, doesn't it what? So Simpson in provisional second. Paul Field is actually ranged up a little bit on the back of that again. So he's
Yeah,
maybe
took a
his
couple of
tyre,
tenths out of him.
maybe his tyres equalised a little bit there, Rusty. Back in the groove.
I think the problem with the field is I suspect he is carrying a fair amount of damage. He bought a couple of times there in quick succession, so it's probably even more uncomfortable to drive now.
Yeah, yep.
You just see there, it looks like it's not very handy on turn in. It's understeering a lot, so
Paul Field's car.
bit of a handful, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not getting that bite, that initial turn in bite that you want. But say Simpson's car, for example, Aerosmith's car, if that's right.
And we saw it actually even in the 15-minute races. It was very strong in the early phase of the race, but as the race went on, he struggled for grip, and I mean, from the outside looking in, looked like it was rear end grip, but look, if the car's not turning either, the whole thing's compromised, isn't it? So.
Yep.
Really struggling there as we get out of the back of Super's car, and we see Simpson getting the 68 Mustang very sideways out of the final car. Put the pressure on, Rusty, as we wind down. Final couple of minutes.
Kenny's going to get a good drive here, I feel.
Oh, look
Super
at that
runs
run.
wide. Kenny was on the gas very early
Oh,
there.
look at this.
Super's going to have to defend this on the inside.
Surely.
It's got a huge run. It's going to be well alongside by the time they get to the braking zone. Now you just got to
he
try and
runs
hold
deep.
it. That's going to
they
help
both
Kenny.
run deep.
Oh, they both went deep.
Carefully, carefully.
Oh, he overshoots the exit.
Come on, boys, get it back
Oh,
together.
they're back together.
Oh, I could just see Fieldsy ranging up behind him. I thought, these guys are going to lose position if they don't get it together. So, luckily, got it all back together. 1 minute to go. These guys will only do one more lap. We have Aerosmith out in front going into T1 for the final time, Rusty.
Yeah, got that gap up to 12 seconds now.
Yeah, Super in second, Kenny in the 68 Mustang in third, Paul Field in fourth, Coyle with Rotobotter and Jeff Barner.
Here we go
fifth,
again. Simpson on Super.
Seventh, here we go. Oh, Kenny with a nick on the wall there. That won't help his
That's
run.
not going to help, no.
This will be the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Nev Shields still has Dawson to think about as they drop into the first complex of corners. Dawson wants one more position before the end of this lap.
It might not be the last lap if Aerosmith doesn't pull it up.
8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3.
He's slowing down.
He's
No,
doing
you got to do
another
another
lap.
one. You got to do another one, mate. Oh no.
Dawson.
He thought it was over.
All these boys are thinking it's going to be the last lap. They're going to do one more. Dawson has another shot at.
Simpson's past Super, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Now, and also Super vulnerable.
I think Super thought it might have been the last lap there.
I think he might have.
He pulled
Checkers
right out of
wearing
it down the
out.
straight.
Oh, now he's got Paul Field on his tail.
Yep.
And the green-eyed monster here.
How bad's that? You think the race is over, you finish second, and next thing you know, you're down to third and fourth, fighting for your life, and an extra lap.
Close stuff. Look at this. This is for the... As Stu Aerosmith runs down through the final complex of quarters in the Chevy Liquid Camaro. Gets it. Kenny Simpson is going to get this 68 Mustang.
Although he gets very loose there on the last
He
turn.
doesn't he what? Doesn't he what? Super in third. Paul Field in fourth. Wow, what a cracking race. Look at the back here. Back into this coil. Rotomoto, Jeff Barner. 1, 2, 3. So 5th, 6th and 7th respectively there. Nev Shields and Dawson. It was on there too out of the final corner, Rusty. So right down to the wire. Les Wilson rounding the final corner in 9th. With Max Cat rounding out the 11 out of 13th. Couple of cars in the pits there retired. Big race. That was the 25-minute main there. Little sneaky reverse grid in the top 6 slipped in there. Just to shake things up.
Plenty of action.
Plenty going. Okay. So, what we're going to do here, as the boys entertain themselves at the end, we'll actually get Paul Fields into the comments box because I know Super doesn't have a mic, Rusty, so we're going to just do that. So, Fieldsy in 4. Paul Field, you got comms on, brother?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I've got you. How are you guys?
Paul Fields,
Good, mate.
4th position in the final there, mate. We got you up here, obviously, because we know Super's got no freaking mic, so you're the next
true.
cab off the rank, brother. But you were right in amongst this race, well and truly.
Yeah, I was. I did a little bit of a tweak to my car because I was finding it really hard to get on the main straight there. I was losing to everybody, and yeah, I dropped my gear ratio down, so that helped me heaps. Yeah, so very happy with the racecraft and how everyone drove. It was really good.
Mate, it looked like, during the last part of that race when Aerosmith started to range up behind, it looked like you were struggling a lot to keep the rears underneath you. Is that what it was like in the car as well?
What actually happened there that he nailed Kenny and took Kenny out,
Right.
and when he's tried to redress, Kenny's saying keep going, and I've just slowed everything down, but I wasn't watching the track, so I hit the bloody wall on the main straight
Oh, no.
and turned the left hand toe in probably about 3 inches because it was just horrible after that. So that's why what happened.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just trying to keep the racecraft with everyone back in track, and
Yeah.
that's why.
We sort of noticed it in the first couple of races too. The Dodge just getting a little bit loose in the back towards the end of the races, and
Yes.
it was sort of you were getting compromised there a little bit, and we just thought that was the same thing going on there in race 3 there when you sort of backed off a bit, and we just thought like you might have been having some tyre struggles there. That's all.
Yeah, actually, the car with the setup that I changed is really good, and it was just me being the ultimate nice guy out there, and I hurt myself. But no, it was good racing out there. Everyone was certainly on it. A few blokes blowing their motors, and
Fantastic.
but it was good racing. I hope that the broadcast looked good, but everyone's enjoyed himself out there. It was a good race.
Well, it looked fantastic from our end, Fieldsy, and awesome racing in that last race, mate. Good work wrestling the old the green-eyed Dodge around, mate. Good work on 4th position.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
But no.
It was good to see the 2 Dodgers on the front row of the grid. I don't think we'll see that too often.
No, not too often. There's not enough of them around, Fieldsy.
No,
Go on,
true.
get on board, guys. Jump in the Dodge.
And Dawson's his car's really going good. We did a bit of setup work this afternoon, but he tweaked his a little bit better, and I need to get a little bit of instructions from him now.
Oh, I think we talked to him after race 2.
1 and 2.
2, yeah, and
Yeah.
he did say he was on the spanners again in between races. So
Oh,
nice
yeah.
work, awesome work, Fieldsy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for your effort, and thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, mate. Great drive.
Too easy, Paul Field, everybody. Good work from Fieldsy there. I don't know what to call it, the green-eyed monster or the purple people eater. Either way, it's pretty much what it is. Where is Simo? Here, it's Simo second. Let's get this man up here. Kenny Simpson. You got us on comms, brother. Simo.
Come on, mate. You know how this works.
Talk to us, right?
You know the drill, mate.
He's already snuck away.
I think he's on the patio, mate.
He's probably having a quick dart just to relax after what was probably a pretty hectic race there. Well, we know it was a hectic race because we just watched it.
Yeah.
So we'll just sneak him back down there, and we will get up here. Who, of course, we're going to get Stu Arrowsmith up here before the end of the
Round winner.
night. Stu Arrowsmith.
Hey guys.
Mate, what happened at the end of that race there? It looked like Fieldsy's car was getting a little bit too hot to handle, and was it just a case of, well, I'll just bide my time, wait for my opportunity, and then jump on it when you get the chance?
Well, what happened is Fieldsy, Kenny, and I were having a battle. Had a dive down at the back chicane.
Yes.
And I did tap Kenny, and then I
Yep.
think when he landed, he gassed it up and then come back across in front of me, and I wanted to readdress, and Fieldsy's like, oh, we'll just do a few slower laps and let them all
Right.
catch up. But in the process of saying that, he actually fenced it in the last turn.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So-
he did mention
so,
that, actually.
Yeah, he broke his car. So he was a sitting duck as soon as we went going again. But yeah, no, it's been a brilliant night. These things are so much fun.
How did you see? You were pretty close to it on the stream. We were talking about my thoughts and prayers were with you and Venter for lap 1 of that third race, because you two guys have been battling for first and second, and now you're in the unenviable position of having to watch in front of you, but also watch your mirrors as well for the first lap or two,
Yeah.
looking out for big dives and stuff. Did you get any kind of look at the incident that caught Venter out on lap 1 and basically handed you the round win tonight?
Yeah, I think what happened is Tinnis might have picked up a little bit of grass on the inside of turn 1, which unstabled the car. It might have even been the curb he climbed coming back on.
Yep.
And he just had to catch it, but unfortunately, it was a car on the outside. I can't remember who he made contact with actually.
It was Dawson, yeah. So
Might have
yeah,
been Dawson,
it's crazy that turn 1, the inside grass actually unsettles the car way more than going wide, doesn't it? Like when you go wide, you can sort of run across, and you get the inside, and you just get a big tank slapper. It's very
Yep.
difficult to deal with. And he did. He just sort of overcorrected. Looked like he nearly had it, and then just made a little bit of contact with Dawson, which and I think they both went around, and obviously Tinnis in the fence. Like Rusty said, that sort of took, like your major contender out of the equation, and you still had plenty to deal with though over the remainder of the race. So
Yeah, I was expecting Tinnis to make headway pretty quickly in that opening lap, but with that happening, I thought, well, I'll just get my nose clean, and I was more worried about getting caught out by braking points because I hadn't been back that far, so I didn't want to tag anyone. But a little touch with Kenny. I apologise, wanted to readdress, but Kenny, being the gentleman, just said, "No, just punch on." But yeah, good fun, eh?
yeah, of course. Looked like you guys are having a ball. It's great to watch. Like up here. Hey, Rusty, mate, we got plenty to talk about with you guys going at it.
100%, mate.
Yeah, plenty of door rubbing and some really good close racing all the way through the field. Like fairly short field again tonight, but like battles galore all the way through the field. So no doubt you were enjoying yourself.
Yep, big smile ear to ear. I look forward to the Saturday nights doing this. And if anyone out there, grab that Discord, jump in. You won't regret it. It's awesome.
Well done, mate. Great drive. Congratulations on another win. And round 1 starts next week. It's war paint on, game face on.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, looking forward to it.
Well done, mate. Great drive tonight.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Good work, Stu Arrowsmith. We will give Simo one more chance there, Rusty. Simo, you got us on comms, brother?
I don't think he does.
Earth to Simo, doesn't look like it. Okay, we are going to pop Simo back down there in his box, and
It's a man of few words.
we are going to thank everybody that's joined us tonight for the Hardcore Online Gaming 2024 TA2 V8 Rumble Series here tonight. Shakedown at Pukekohe, proudly sponsored by MATCHFIT Entertainment and Nautech. Rusty by my side. Rusty, cracking racing in what was a short field there tonight.
Yeah, really good, mate. Great to step in as our colleague J-Man making his way home from Whakapapa after finishing a respectable 14th
Oh,
in
from the
pineapple fritter
fritter
making
thing.
competition.
Yes,
So
yes.
he'll be back on deck next week, back in the chair. But it's been an absolute pleasure to jump in, step in, come off the bench, and yeah, really enjoyed the night. Great racing.
Awesome stuff, guys. Thanks, Rusty, again. 6-round series starting next week. Australia and New Zealand tracks. Get involved. Join the Discord. All the links are in the description. Get amongst it. That's it for tonight. We will see you all next week with your race gloves on. Thanks for joining us again. Good night for now.